Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here, and welcome to Smackdown in 5, the weekly show where we look at the top moments from Friday Night Smackdown in under 5 minutes. So let's get to it. So Triple H introduced round 1 of the WWE Draft, and it went as follows. For SmackDown, The Bloodline. For Raw, Cody Rhodes. For SmackDown, Bianca Belair. And for Raw, Becky Lynch. Of course, the big shock here, the absence of Jimmy and Jay from The Bloodline is part of the deal. So are they going to go to Raw? Babyface Usos, I'm kind of down for that. I mean, at this stage, they're essentially lambs to the slaughter via Roman Reigns. Not shocked by Cody, not shocked by Becky, because surely, inevitably, Seth will remain on Raw and fight for that shiny new WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Shocked with the Bianca move, though, to SmackDown. Didn't see that coming, but I'm kind of down for it. Next up, round 2, where we got RVD and Michael Hayes introduce it. Love that touch. For SmackDown, the Street Profits. For Raw, Imperium. For SmackDown, Edge. And for Raw, Matt Riddle. With the exception of Matt Riddle remaining on Raw, the others are pretty big changes. A big W for SmackDown getting the Street Profits. They're going to be mega on the show. Of course, the IC title now moving to Raw, with Imperium moving to Raw as well. So there's going to be some decent matchups along the way there. And a big shock with Edge moving to SmackDown. Does this mean that we're going to revisit the Roman Reigns Edge feud? Next up, we got round 3 of the draft, introduced by JBL and none other than a never-aging Teddy Long. If I looked that good at his age, I'd be smiling just like he is, and he's still got the moves, right? Now for SmackDown, we got Bobby Lashley. For Raw, Drew McIntyre. For SmackDown, the OC. And for Raw, The Miz. Not surprised by those last two. I'm quite surprised by the SmackDown pick in Bobby Lashley. Does this mean we're going to get a heated up Bobby Lashley take on Roman Reigns at some point for the ultimate gold in WWE? Also, it'd be interesting to see if Bray Wyatt remains on SmackDown and they revisit that angle, potentially. And that brings us on to the final and 4th round pick of the draft, where we got HBK and Road Dogg introduce it. For SmackDown, Damage Control. For Raw, Shinsuke Nakamura. For SmackDown, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. And for Raw, Indy Hartwell. I mean, you can just hear the heartbreak. Now, you got to feel for HBK, because that's like his babies fleeing the nest. He couldn't even look. I mean, SmackDown getting Alba Fire and Isla Dawn is mega. They are a fantastic tag team. Of course, the current NXT Women's Tag Team Champs. And you can't say enough good things about Indy Hartwell, the current NXT Women's Champion. Of course, this means at this point, all former members of The Way are on Raw. I'm sure there'll be some changes and they won't remain like that, but just saying. Also, on the main show, we saw Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defeat the Usos to remain the undisputed tag team champions. I mean, at this stage, surely Jimmy and Jay's heads are going to be on spikes. Roman is not going to be impressed. And of course, the question mark remains surrounding Solo Sikoa. He did come down to the ring before Matt Riddle intercepted, but what were his intentions? Was he there to help or hinder the Usos? I don't know how you feel, but I kind of hope the Usos turn on Solo and Roman before they turn on them. Like, logically, and listen to Sami Zayn, for crying out loud. Come on, Jay. We also got treated to a tasty triple threat tag match between the LWO, Braun and Ricochet, and the Street Profits, and thankfully this segment went well. It was Street Profits that got the victory. No complaints there, of course. They're freshly part of the SmackDown brand now. And we also saw LA Knight get a victory. Hallelujah. He beat Butch. Of course, this was after a bit of joint manipulation via Butch. I mean, that's pretty standard, isn't it? But good moves. We've got a cool interaction, brawl if you like, between the OC and the Viking Raiders. Zelina Vega put Rhea Ripley on her arse. I mean, not many people do that, and I love the motivational talk via Rey Mysterio as well, saying that size isn't an issue. He's overcome that his whole entire career, and the fact that Zelina can beat Rhea Ripley at Backlash. Overall, I thought it was a really, really good show. Thoroughly enjoyed it. As always, it'd be very much appreciated if you could like the video, share the video, and even better, subscribe if you're new, and we'll catch you in the next one. We'll catch you on Raw, where we get Night 2 of the WWE Draft.